street, then you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
32 is the identity.
We were kind of stuck in neutral, and I thought it was a good idea to hand the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
Loses the football, strip sack, and a take.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft dots in the smartest man alive. Yo, Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft dots in the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but our buckets are sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double T's like 96 Hakeem hits. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go all live right after Bears
I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
Because teams realize, hey, we gotta stop Matt.
When you put that much into it, you don't let that. And the guy next to you said, "You son of a bitch, you better block." That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
And let's get it on.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Yes.
Hey, Wallingford, Connecticut guy. Where's he? Anyways, we're 1 week closer, Bears fans. Not to the season being over, but one day closer to Black Monday. Happy for Robert Quinn, our guy. Draft Dr. Phil out there showing you how good he is on tape, even when the haters wanted him gone because of his contract. Look at this dude. Bears single season sack record, Robert Quinn, 18 sacks. He actually could have technically had 2 more on top of it if the things went his way today, but got out of it. Bears beating a much inferior team today. That's what you wanted to see from them. But, I mean, end of the day, Matt Nagy's last offensive play call in Soldier Field is a wildcat jump pass that gets picked off. So that's putting the fucking cherry on top, right? But anyways, let's get over to DDP. It's rant time, boys and girls. Let's go.
You're stealing from me, Shane, with that last point. Listen, Club Dub is about to get the DJ scratching and cutting, and you Bears fans are all going to be there. You know, same with me and Shane, scratching and cutting your head because you can't even comprehend what is transpiring here with the Chicago Bears. It's hard to imagine, you know, what you see each and every week with this football team. They run into a dumpster fire even worse than your Chicago Bears in the New York Giants, down to their last option at quarterback. In fact, if you were a patron, you would have heard me talk about it's almost an indictment on Mr. Ryan Pace himself. about how this organization, how this team is being run. You saw Mike Glennon, $18 million. You passed on, you heard the broadcasters. They passed on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson for Mitch Trubisky. Everybody knows the story. But to Shane's point, in a day where you're demolishing your opponent, the gimmicks and tricks, they show themselves. And that's exactly who this coach is, who this organization is. Now, when we study the tape and we look at the tape and we do the homework, we all saw on this network, we saw defending of this signing right here, setting the single season sack record here for the Bears. All time, the Chicago Bear, Robert Quinn, 18 sacks, and to Shane's credit, probably should have had 1.5 more today. But ultimately, the story is, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? Because Andy Dalton playing today makes as much sense as Tevin Jenkins sitting on the sideline. Now, if Justin Fields is healthy and ownership goes down and says, I don't want him playing with this shoe salesman, we fucked up. We hired a guy that can't even be a head coach. He's a glorified public relations member of players. He's a friend. He's a football friend. Everybody loves him. That's what we're going to say. Everybody. And I'm sure Matt Nagy, his family, and everything about them are great and they're nice people. Well, that doesn't win football games. Game planning, accountability, preparation. Before you jump into the lake of where's this been all season long? Seattle sucks, and so do the Giants. That's what happens in the NFL. When you play shit, you might look a little bit brighter. That turd might shine a little bit brighter. But if you're following and paying attention, there's a reality that there's so much talent on this football team that's been unused. But back to my original point. If Justin Fields is healthy and he's not playing because ownership's afraid of their coach, why is he here? Why is this coach here? If Tevin Jenkins is on the sideline, not getting these valuable reps at left tackle, and he's your future, and your quarterback's your future, this organization sucks. This football organization is an embarrassment. It's a sabotage. Play the Beastie Boys. Give me that guitar riff right now. Because that's what's going on here. And before you get your panties in a bunch about a victory, if you think that's something you're going to fucking stamp your flag into the moon for, then you are lost as a football fan. That was an empty stadium full of giveaway tickets. Hey, here's some free tickets. Go watch this shit organization lose again. What the narrative forgets in that 12-4 season that they keep championing, I can never say that word, is Vic Fangio's 39 takeaways. Yeah, that's important to football. Football's a team sport, the ultimate team sport. And if you had the opportunity to watch John Madden, and may he rest in peace, my broadcasting idol, football is nothing without John Madden, in my opinion. What he did, not only in the broadcast booth, but on the field, and love of the game resonated so much so that everybody, including mothers, grandmothers, grandsons, daughters, football fans all over the world, got to understand the game bigger and better because of him. And today, our Chicago Bears take another step backwards. If you follow along here, Andy Dalton is a free agent. Nick Foles, who they traded for and paid handsomely, is with the team next year. So an indictment on this organization, once again, is putting a guy that you paid out there, politics, over playing Nick Foles if Justin's hurt. It's one with which Shane talked about on the Patron channel. It's an organization that doesn't see the fucking trees before the forest. They don't see anything bigger. They're so stuck in the Ernie Accorsi hairpiece. It's in your face. Ted Phillips and George McCaskey, Milhouse and Flanders aren't involved in making football decisions. Ryan Pace has, right? That's what they've sold. Matt and Ryan are men of great character, like George. Well, all of the characters need to leave the screen, and a new day needs to arise, because in these little decisions that have big ramifications, because I know some of you guys are, I don't want Justin getting hurt. Well, I'm a football guy, and I say the more reps in preparation, the better. The more understanding that Allen Robinson isn't an $18 million receiver, the better for your future. These are where those answers are found on game day. If I hear that we had another great week of practice, I may lose my mind, because in my coaching career, I don't think I ever went in any situation saying, well, we had a great week of practice. I wonder what happened. It's performance. It's how you get out there and perform when it matters. That's all that matters. I've been around guys that practice like shit, that go out on Sundays or Friday nights or Saturday mornings and play their asses off. It's up to you, the head coach, the GM, to determine the best players are going to play. We are going to put our future first in the hands of competence, not incompetence. Until that changes, Shane, these Chicago Bears are going to be flandering and floundering and millhousing in mediocrity. And that is my rant. And we could talk all day long about the talent on this roster, because we've done it all season long. And it rears itself right here on New Year's. It shows itself again how talented they could be. What David Montgomery. But to your credit, and you got the mic first, I said, here's Matt Nagy joking and smiling with Cole Kmet. Someone pull that little, Alex Acevedo, pull that little clip, send it to Shane to end the game like a clown show that this is
exactly what I tweeted.
Did you?
Clown show, literally. I'll put it up. I'm like,
swear,
it's a fucking clown show. You're up 29-3, and you're putting your fucking starting running back in there to throw a fucking jump pass off Wildcat. I mean, come on.
On a day where everything goes your way, everything goes your way. Even got the fucking safety that went your way, and you still got a gimmick. Listen, there's been terrible head coaches that have been hired in this league, and I always get embarrassed for some of these nerd stat boys, these PFF fucking parade givers that sit there and say, well, there's so many fucking frauds in the NFL. They're just hired for friends. It's the good old boy network. They don't know more football than you or I. They're just out there given and handed a job. And we have one here. And it's the Charter franchise. And I don't know how many times I've said it. If you think Matt Nagy's the answer, the question must be, where's the circus? Because he is the biggest clown. And that's really all I could say. I don't give any merit to any fucking insider, blog boy, any of these fucking guys. It's Nagy gonna Nagy. I've said it here for fucking 4 years. This guy's gonna fucking do this dumb shit. It all started when you're up and you injured Aaron Rodgers, and it's 3rd and 2. And you run Jordan Howard and he gets 2, and you don't ask for a measurement. You just go, okay, let's kick a field goal. No, that's 2 down territory. You go for it, and you don't fucking put Aaron Rodgers on the field again. But they continue to do it. They continue to do it. They continue to screw every fan and try to go on with hope. Let's give some
Phil,
hope.
real quick, and this isn't Bears related. I mean, I guess it could be in a roundabout way, but I don't know if everybody listening saw what unfolded with Antonio Brown today, stripping his gear off. Well, the decision has been made already, and this is the difference between a head coach that has some balls like Bruce Arians compared to Matt Nagy. Bruce Arians got up to the podium for his post-game presser and said Antonio Brown is no longer a Buck. The Chicago Bears would never address it like that. They wouldn't. We're gonna sit down.
Look at the tape.
Yeah, I gotta go look at the tape. See how quick it took him to get the jersey off, throw his pads. But
we can do a mock of him. What would he say?
Big plays are nice. They're good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that right now. We're gonna let cooler heads prevail. Everybody's
it's an emotional game. It's an emotional game.
I want to talk about the other 52 guys in that locker room that played their hearts out today.
That was a good team.
They emptied their cup. Shout out to the Giants. They're the best awful team I've seen in a long time.
Well done, bro. God, you have to be a head coach that has accountability. You have to lay down the lumber, so to speak, things we haven't seen here. We have, Eddie Jackson comes to play when his fucking cereal box goes on sale for 50 cents. That's when he decides to come and play. These are the characters that you have had with this football team. You're throwing the football 35 times today with Andy Dalton, who's a free agent, and Nick Foles, who won you a game last week, is not in your building, not playing out there, getting the valuable reps if Justin Fields was hurt. I think these are the fucking things the Chicago Bears continuously fail to see. And listen,
the sack leader is up there if you want to hear.
People get upset when we talk about this guy and say that we said this and defended him. But God knows if you were doing the homework and the work on the tape and defending this guy, this is a proud moment for TTNL. Because I stuck my neck out there with all those fucking blog boy trolls. Where are they? Right, Bullets? This is a fucking football player right here.
Jesus Christ, did he break his nose? Jesus Christ, I look sore.
All of them were red in the face. Did you see D. Filippo?
Yeah.
He looked like he had paint on his face.
Trev Gibson, he was heating up early, so he had me stressing.
The Giants have our first round pick because they gave us Justin Fields.
And I would still make that trade, knowing the way that everything has unfolded.
I mean, at the end of the day, I was just trying to.
Do you think this guy cares? I mean, oh my God.
I had that one good job.
Tell him.
I had the corner, so quarterback was still there. Secondary had their man, the guys on lock.
He should have had 2.5 sacks, maybe 3.
Yeah.
My bold prediction and yours would have been fucking right. Where are the Block Boys? Robert, got anything to say to those fucking pussies?
Well, at first, then I saw like you said, flick the ball out, and of course, didn't hear no whistle. So
how about Travis Gibbs? How about him, Shane? Should he
of
be
course, it was,
playing a lot more than
crazy.
Kamara,
Have a
for
play like that
God's
happen,
sake?
but,
Man, you think about those three next year if Mac is here.
Oh, my
How
God.
everything unfolds. Whew.
Mac, Quinn, and Gibson. Where the
I'm sorry.
what do you think? What do you got to say to the Block Boys?
Knowing you got the record in 16 games, just like Richard Dent did, instead of
Oh, here we go.
17 games.
Where are those stat nerds?
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping he would get it in
yeah, just
18
in
so
that
I can be
regards,
very upset with him.
took 17. I'm sure he would have called me and would have
Exactly. Like
knew
every
what the heck
fucking
was going
Blog
on.
Boy clown.
But he actually, I talked to him actually, and he still made a mark. I think it was quite funny. He said he had, I think, 17 and a half and only started 10 games. So he let me know, the company I was in. So, I mean, it's, just an honor, again, to be able to break a blessing, the powers above bless me.
Where are the computer statisticians
So,
that were giving this guy bad grades last year, and we kept telling them, like,
When did you talk to Richard?
Yesterday. Yesterday. Yeah, I just pulled up to the house. We talked for a little bit.
anybody want some
talking a little football and
Eddie Jackson flakes?
That one kind of stuck with me, but
50 cents a box.
50 cents a box if you're looking.
No matter if he started
Ship 'em to you.
16 or 10 games, his career, holds up on his own. So,
Where's Ryan Pace at? Where's he at?
Any indication that he wanted you to break it or not?
Do anybody want their records broken? I think he was excited, but not really,
From what you guys saw on video, did you see anything else in particular, or did you see any weakness from the Giants offensive line?
I mean, they got a nice core. I mean, just early we were able to get again, Travis, he got a early strip sack.
Travis Gibson, man.
Who got the interception?
Don't understand his rotational reps at all. I can't even understand Sean Desai and how he uses things.
I won't, they're all.
Are you a fan of Desai, Shane?
Oh no, he is nowhere near as aggressive for what I want as a DC. I mean, when you have these horses out there, Phil, I've talked about it a little bit. I thought he was going to come in with that mentality, but no, I agree with you. Some of his, I understand you have some guys out. Obviously, Khalil Mack is a big one, but you're paying these guys all this fucking money to get to the quarterback. You need to be relentless with it. How do you have a guy like Roquan Smith and not fucking blitz him?
Oh my God.
And I
So
that
dumb.
because I have some life stories that
It's so
are a little
dumb.
tougher to come through. And of course, you all know overcoming a terrible season is pretty easy versus being 17, laying in a hospital bed and thinking you might not make it. So football.
This guy plays with a tumor in his head.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Some of you don't know. That is Robert Quinn, the Chicago Bears' new single season sack leader with 18 sacks. Robert Quinn destroying that record. Well, not destroying. He still has one more game because of the new added game to the season. I was just glad that it happened in this game for fear of those same blog boys trying to manipulate a narrative that, well, he had to do it in one extra game. Well, that narrative's done. Look at this team, Shane, going for Andy Dalton playing today. I was with you, and I think you said it best. There's no reason he's out there playing today.
None. Nick Foles is going to be here next year as the backup. Very, very likely. I mean, Andy Dalton's going to go elsewhere. He could very well end up back in Dallas. That wouldn't shock me either.
Right.
But it makes no sense to me at all. I mean, you think about, I'm not really defending Nick Foles, the person here, but you go out and you wonder what's going through Nick Foles' head after leading your team on the road in Seattle. Yes, another inferior team, but and then you get sat down. Makes no sense. I mean, if Justin can't play, I would have preferred to have seen Nick Foles play today. It just makes more sense for this franchise moving forward. He deserved it, but it makes more sense for this franchise moving forward. But Phil, this is where that Matt Nagy is done. And I see there's people in the chat saying, how do we know that he's done?
There ain't no way.
Done. He is done. He will be fired, and it'll be announced on January 10th. Mark it down in stone. But he's not interested in what is best for this team moving forward. This is the emptying the cup. I mean, Phil, 29-3, 4th and 4. You're going fucking Wildcat with David Montgomery for a fucking jump pass. I mean, that is an asshole move on every single fucking level. What do you think that Joe Judge thinks of Matt Nagy right now?
Oh, exactly.
I mean, I know you shouldn't really care overall. Stop it. But no, you didn't even need the defense to fucking stop it. You stopped it yourself by the fucking clown show play call. I saw that and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Gotta be kidding me.
It was, I'm hoping someone will pull that video, because I think the biggest telling moment for me as a coach is, all right, you call this fucking clown show play, right? And it doesn't work. The thing for me, if my coach or my OC called that, I would be pissed off. Here's your head coach over there laughing it up with Cole Kmet.
Try getting you one, big dog. Try getting you
Tried
one.
to get you one, big dog. Want to make you look a little bit better today, buddy. It was going to be fun. We were going to celebrate. We were going to do the fucking club dub a little harder. This is the roller coaster of whys. That right there is the why. Why are you such a punk ass bitch of a coach? Like, whoever would do that play? Who would do it?
Yeah, the guy we got until next week.
Oh, it drives me insane. Insane.
But Phil, go back to when we're talking about projecting forward. Tevin Jenkins, all right, if he doesn't see the field today, for all intents and purposes, you could essentially say, hey, we want Tevin healthy. He's not 100%, so we're not going to risk anything. I mean, they could play that card. But then they bring him in during a blowout at the point where you have 5 wins. I mean, how? In what reality is that the right play when you have 5 wins? I mean,
it's called sabotage.
After the Bulls game last night, when DeRozan hit his second buzzer beater in consecutive nights, I said, you know what? Matt Nagy would have signed Ed Nealy and then put DeMar DeRozan on the fucking bench. I know probably people don't know who Ed Nealy is, but he played for the Bulls back in like the mid to late 80s. Big burly power forward, but this is what we're dealing with. Jason Peters again. Love the guy. Love the guy.
Him.
He shouldn't
40
have been
years
out
old,
there fucking playing today.
Getting those reps back. You getting that confidence back. You don't get it. You build off of nastiness. We saw Tevin Jenkins be the only fucking stand-up guy when Justin Fields gets thrown out, and we saw pussy ass Fetty trying to tamp that down like an altar boy. Calm it down, big fellow. We don't need pound. Shut the fuck up. This team is such the pussification of the Chicago Bears in a wildcat play, in a benching. There's no accountability. There's politics everywhere. Everywhere. You want to win? You hire football fucking people. Not these motherfucking blog boys, penny counting bitch asses. That's what you are. Anybody could beat the Giants.
Here's the coach.
Fucking Charles Leno would have had a great game today.
And early on score touchdowns and then do enough
in the end,
Red-faced
the part that I
clown.
thought
He
was
looks
good
just
was
like
the
a fucking
defense
clown. Put the
being able
put the
to
clown
special
wig
teams
on
getting
his
them
head.
backed up, the defense creating a safety, offense going down and getting stealing
Jesus,
3 points
I get so
at the
fired
end
up
of the
with
half.
this shit.
That's stuff that you work on, and the guys executed it. And so that part was really good. Personally, for Robert to be able to get the sack record was neat. You know, he hasn't and doesn't talk about it very often. That's who he is. But to see him get it was cool. To have 100.5 sacks in his career, that's a lot of
Just
sacks.
say goodbye. I'm gonna
Not to
say your
overshadow Travis
farewells
Christian,
now.
who I think, you know, having 2 sacks and starting the game the way he did.
Talking about Robert Quinn,
Sometimes
he
that
set
can
the
happen,
Bears
but that
record today
defense just
against
really
Mike
balled out.
Glennon.
They played hard,
and when he set
again,
the
the
single
effort from
season
these
record
guys
for
is
the
what
Rams,
really
the
jumps out to
quarterback
me,
he was
and that we
facing,
appreciate
Mike
that.
Glennon.
So, you know,
Hold
other
on,
than
I'm
that,
a
I'll go
blog
ahead
boy
and
coach. Let me give you all the stats.
Personality, the decision that you made to take a timeout to just let him ask him that, just your thought process on that moment.
Yeah, it just kind of happened naturally and organically.
got
That
makeup
when
on
it
today.
happened, how it happened, it just was natural for me to do that. Obviously, being in a position where you can do that, where using a timeout in that position doesn't hurt your team.
The smartest coaching move you did.
It just pays respect
Just
from
take a
all of us as
timeout and
coaches and
respect
players to him. How much we
Robert
appreciate
Quinn.
it.
I'll give you
think
that.
What's cool and what's important.
I would have done the
for
same thing.
These young players that are on this team, to see somebody at his age practice the way he practices. You guys get to see Sunday. You know, you get to see the starter
The
practice.
one good thing you fucking did in
no
your
one in this
career.
room other than myself gets to see Robert Quinn practice every day the way he plays. And what a great person to see, to look up to, and see if you practice like this is what can happen, especially after coming off of last year, right? Resilient. You know, he's been through a lot in his life, and to get to this point right now, he'd be the last person to tell you that he wants any attention, but he deserves it.
Did you think he had it on the play where
I did.
shoveled it?
Yeah.
When did you see right away? Oh my God, they didn't blow it dead, or
No, I knew right away. It was a good call by the refs. They made a good call. It was quick, and Glennon made a nice play.
When you saw that the first play of the game for the defense, do you think this is going to be a pretty good day? You know,
Yeah, well, they went empty first play. You know, they opened it up. So, and then for that to happen, for us to get that, you know, we've been talking about turnovers for a long time, and sometimes it's like you talk about it, and they don't come. And now to be able to get that to first play, it got the whole team.
Can we
going.
talk about how shitty the
we got Big
Giants are?
Tonga in there, freaking rolling right
Seriously.
down the middle. You know,
They
just
couldn't. They
rolling
didn't
ball.
throw,
So,
but three times
that
in a
was fun to
fucking
see.
3 quarters of football.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are gonna feed him volleyball, fucking kiss his ass questions.
I did.
You fucking
Yeah,
bum.
I just thought that for these,
Media.
I appreciate it for
Giants
the players to be able
suck.
to have this, because
One of the worst
you know,
fucking
they deserve
organizations.
it, and it's nice. I mean, whether you're winning or losing,
personnel
or it's a
I've
close game.
seen
You know, we
all
talked about
season.
like our next opponent with Minnesota, and you got so many close games.
They
It
have
comes down
one
to the last play.
receiver out there.
It's nice to have one
That's
where
an
you're able to
NFL
be in
player.
control from the first play to the last play.
They got fucking Mike Glennon.
Being where we've been through this
You know how
year.
anybody can tolerate
again,
this
the one thing that
fucking
I'm
bullshit.
very impressed with and appreciate
Why
from the players
wasn't
and coaches
Tevin
is
playing?
the
Should be
effort and
the
care.
first fucking question.
This is your last game coaching here at Soldier Field. How will you remember this place?
Well, again, you know, for me, I take it day by day. If it goes that way, then
Oh my
it's
God.
it's meant to be. And it's
Good for
at the
Leisure for
same point
fucking
in time,
smacking him
I'm
in the
so
fucking
stuck
head
into
with that,
today's
though.
game and the feeling that I have that I don't even have time to really.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I'm sure
I don't
you've
have
never
time
thought
to
about
think
it.
about it.
Maybe
That
I
would
will
be
down the
all
road
I'm thinking
if
about.
that was to happen. If not,
What are you fucking talking about?
I'm just gonna do exactly what I've been doing all year long, and that's prepping for Minnesota.
When you scored with like a minute left to go in the first half, and you're getting the ball back to start the second half, but that sequence to 5 points out, I'm just curious, kind of.
Yeah.
What a
I'm being able to
piece of
maximize
shit,
that.
Nagy.
Well, yeah, we had some timeouts left. The defense
can't
kept making
believe
them
he
get
answers
negative
that.
yards. We used our timeouts. We stopped the clock. We got the safety.
Why wasn't
And now
Tevin
we
Jenkins
wanted to go
playing?
down and
Has
try to
not
steal
been
3
asked
points.
yet.
We did that. We ran out of timeouts.
Why
we knew that
did
we
you
were going to
start
a completion like we got
Andy
one to
Dalton
A-Rob that
over
we,
Nick
you know,
Foles?
clock it and kick a field goal and not be out of control. And we did that. They executed it. On top of that, our
Christ.
best drive of the game
Asking
on
him
offense
about
was
the
the
fucking
first drive of the
second
third
half
quarter.
drive.
We went 11
Are you
plays,
fucking
75
dumb?
yards, five plus minutes, and got a touchdown. So we really stole 12 points.
Start putting fucking
that
performers
right
out
there is what we talked about on the side. I thought Bill Lazor did a great job there. That
Go
drive
get your
just really,
swag.
you know, we came in at
Fuck
halftime, made
this
some
team.
adjustments, and I
Buy
thought he
some
did a great job getting
TTNL
the guys in rhythm.
swag.
What went into the decisions for your starting offensive tackle?
Yeah.
Here it is right here.
Yeah,
Well,
here.
again, a few things. All
No.
these guys, whether they're
Here's
coming
the
off an
excuse.
injury, coming back from an injury, you start on the left side with Jason. You know, Jason's been our starter this entire year.
Oh, that's the
This is a Hall of Fame
pussification
player
right
that's
there.
been playing a long time, and
You
he
know
battled
what?
his ass off
He's
to get
been
back
our
here and play.
starter.
And he did a
So
great
he
job, and we
deserved
weren't
it.
sure how that was going to go. Tevin, same thing, coming, working through an injury from last week's game. And so, that's
Was
that's the
Tevin ready
decision
to
that
go?
we made.
Follow it up.
And it's been, like I've said,
Follow it up.
we're going to do everything.
He was
that
good
we
enough
need
to come in
do
and
what's
play.
best for this team right now.
Was Tevin ready to
And,
go?
that's what we did. And then in regards to Larry and Effetti, I go back to with Larry coming off of
He's nervous
COVID a few
about
weeks
taking a
ago
shot
and
at
trying to get
Effetti.
back
Look.
into shape. We weren't sure where he was going to be last week. He was forced into action.
I know
early,
where he
and
would have
we
been
thought
if
he
it
did
was
a good
me.
job.
Would have been on
So
fucking
we go into
bench.
this week thinking,
Hey,
again, he played well when he was
Performance
in.
over politics,
So, we went with
coach.
him for this week. So the guys have handled it
You
great.
don't get it. That's
Communication's
why
been
you're
great.
getting canned.
I appreciate that from
Be
them.
shoe.
And again, we were able to get
Follow it up.
Tevin
Was
in
Tevin
the
healthy?
fourth quarter there too. So we're
Was
trying
Tevin
to
healthy, asshole?
kind of balance that, but at the same point in time, work that dynamic.
I
of
just
all those
want it
guys.
on the record.
What was your point on David Montgomery?
Oh gosh.
Oh my.
So that's been in the incubator for a few weeks.
Yeah,
That's
should've
why-
Keep it in the fucking
Um,
incubator, you fucking dumb fuck.
He's in there now. Just
Oh my
he was just
God.
talking through. The guys are razzing
He's
him. all the
smiling
running
about
backs, and
this.
Cole came over. He was razzing them.
Can't wait to see you
That's
with
one
the
of those
Chiefs
plays
again.
that again it
Run
can be
that in
really
the
good or it can
playoffs
be
with
really
them when
bad.
you're
It
calling
happened to be
plays.
really bad, but again, in that situation, when it
my
hits,
God.
it's fun.
Ryan
So
Pace.
it didn't. He'll learn from it, and maybe he might dream about it tonight, but he'll forget it. I said,
The
don't let that
play's
affect your next
designed
play. So
wrong,
he'll be good
to
with
be
that.
perfectly honest, you asshole.
That was a blitz on the first play of the game.
The
Defensively,
tight end should
you guys
release
both-
out to the right so no defender can creep in. Because you're so fucking stupid with the X's and the O's.
You may do going forward.
You designed the whole
it's
trick play wrong.
philosophically, you want to always do that. Now, there's certain
Philosophically,
situations based off the teams you're playing.
You want to run that
and
fucking
how
play,
that goes. Field
you do
position,
it
certainly.
throwing to
But
air.
I think
There's
that
no way a
we've had
defender
that
can
mentality.
jump
There's
back
been times
into a
when we've
zone
been more
if he
conservative
creeps
this
out
year
and
than
turns out
what we've been
running back dumps
for
it
whatever
to
reasons
the
this year
outside.
or even
But
today.
again,
But it's
maybe
just
it's
sometimes
just
it's
the
a feel.
East Coast
where you're
today.
at, how you're playing on defense.
Maybe
how
for
you're playing
sure
on offense.
we'll
and,
figure it out.
when it works, it's
We'll
great. and when
figure it
doesn't,
out.
It's usually not a good
We'll
call.
figure it out,
Speaking of
Shane.
right now, when he's
Fuck
developed
this
this season
coach.
into a lot
Take
of
his
targets.
ass off.
He had another good game. He's really had a
Fucking
connection with
blog
the
boy
quarterback that's
coach.
been in the
Yeah, well, he's just consistent with who he
The
is.
Giants
You know,
set an NFL
getting him
record
in the
today.
fifth round and
They
him
finished the
developing
game
into the
with
player he is.
minus
This kid
10
is going to be a
net passing
wide
yards.
receiver in this league for a super long time.
Ryan
His
Pace.
care factor is off the charts.
Mike Glennon.
He's learning every day.
The neck.
He puts
The
in one
giraffe
of those guys
gaff.
up to practice, getting jugs
The
every day,
giraffe
running
gaff
routes
was
every
out
day,
in
and working
full
with the quarterbacks
circle.
every
My
day.
left hook.
That's just naturally
Don't
what happens
worry.
when you do that stuff.
He is gone.
That's a pretty cool
Yeah.
thing. And
Done deal.
that's not going to stop with him.
Just
Trust us.
laughing
He's
at
rare.
that dumb
Trust
play.
us.
Does he seem full strength, full speed?
Yeah. No, I was curious about that going into it. I think he's pretty good. I didn't talk to him yet about that after the game, but
Oh yeah.
he seemed good. I was trying to keep an eye on him coming in and out. There were some times where he probably would have been in on certain plays here or there early on as we get to get through his wind and where he's at. But I thought he did well.
Did you have a reason to think that based on practices that maybe he wasn't quite?
No, we were trying to keep an eye on it early
for
on with
sure.
where he was because some of these guys get a little bit more winded than others.
sure.
But I thought he did a pretty good job all week.
What?
Yeah. What about him?
Same way you could be in terms
Yeah. Same thing. You know, these guys, it's different.
Oh
It's
my
one thing to come
God.
out
It's different.
when you're away for a
Phil.
while to come
It's
back
different.
and practice. It's another thing when
different.
the game reps hit, you know. So
These guys are
I'll go
I'll go back and
obsessed.
watch all the tape.
They're
and see exactly
different.
where
They're
at, but
different.
We were keeping an eye on all those guys.
Struggle. They checked out this time of the season. You were confident that your guys would stick together. What does it mean that you're able to, celebrate with your guys in the locker room and you get this kind of effort that you had the last couple of weeks?
Again, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to our coaches. I know it means a lot to the players. It just, I think it speaks to who our locker room is.
Not
because
true,
you're right,
Bilal.
you get to this point. It's a long season. A lot of
Nagy's
stuff
gone
happens.
doesn't mean that Pace is
But
choosing
these
him.
guys, they deserve to be credited for.
We
for
don't
their
know what's
ability
gonna
to
happen
fight
up
through
there.
some tough times.
That's
both
the
may
whole
be gone.
weight.
And to come out and play with this
Pace
effort
may be gone.
like they have been doing. This isn't something that's just
Glennon
kicked on
Pace,
the last couple
Mitch
of weeks.
Pace,
They've been playing with this effort all year.
Andy Dalton
We played
Pace.
some pretty good teams, and
If they were that upset with them,
put ourselves in position to win. And in
both.
the end, we didn't win those games.
They wouldn't keep one.
And so,
you know what I mean? if they were very happy with Ryan Pace,
you don't see the effort. But
pissed
that's
off
just
with
not
Matt
going to
Nagy.
happen.
They would have
here,
launched Nagy a few weeks ago.
As I'm around,
the fact that they're
helping
both
these guys
still
and
here says
coaching
a
and
lot to me.
coaches in there. That's not going
in
to happen.
terms
These
of
guys just
how they
play.
see
These
project
players
them moving forward.
What if
the last 2 weeks?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How would you describe the effort made by the secondary and the performance they did today?
It was great. So the D line was able to tip some footballs. The secondary made the play. We talk about make the play when you get a chance to make the play. They made the play today. I was joking with T. Gibb
We
with
had to talk
Tayshaun
about
Gibson.
that,
He made an unbelievable one-handed catch in
we got to
practice
talk
the other
about this
day.
secondary today against
It was
Mike Glennon.
spectacular. And I think the reason
Negative
he made
10
this pick the other day
net
today
yards.
because of that practice rep. I told him I was messing with him, but those guys are playing hard, and when that happens, they become contagious. So that was good.
18 million you paid.
What have the last
Mike
2 weeks
Glennon.
been like for you specifically to have come back in Seattle and then a start to finish runaway win today?
Again, it's been expected. I think that every day
I would
when
have
you're
so
in
much
install
more
meetings with
respect
these
for
players,
you if
every
you were
day
like,
when you're out
listen,
of practice.
Giants
as long
aren't
as
a
you don't
very
change,
good
see, because they
football
see if when things don't go well, if you lose some games or if you win some games, you get too high, you think you're too good. They see the change.
How is
we
it?
just don't
What's
do
his
that.
record against the
And so
Packers?
the expectations are coming
Talk
out
to me.
and practicing
One
and
win.
having to gauge and calibrating
There
where
you
the
go.
players are at mentally.
Let's not get
physically,
this fucking
taking care of
game
them in practice
twisted.
when you have to. I think
You
they
bring
appreciate that. And then on game day, they're rewarded by playing hard and getting wins. So,
in the fucking zero
this is,
land of
we're
chance
guaranteed one more week against a division opponent.
that you
and
bring
we'll
this
throw the
fucking
record out
shoe
because
salesman
We're
back.
guaranteed
We're
one
gonna come
more
back and
week.
do the same thing.
Yeah, no shit, Matt.
Travis Gibson, my guy, who went from healthy scratch earlier in the season to now 2 strip sacks. Talk about his growth this season and also
Jesus Christ, this media sucks.
guys like Quinn.
You're talking about Travis Gibson. Talk to the GM
No,
about
he's been
that
phenomenal. The
when
thing
you're
with
fired.
Travis
When he's
is,
fired.
Travis came in.
What do you think
as
he's
a
going to
rookie,
say?
and,
Talk to me about Jenkins
the
not
person,
playing.
the high
Why
character,
didn't Nick
the guy,
Foles
the one,
play?
the position he
His
played in
future's
college,
with the
coming
Bears,
in here trying to
and
find a
Andy's
niche.
doesn't seem to be
He
so.
is another guy that practices
What
super hard.
about Justin Fields' injury
now
that
he's
you
being
said 2
rewarded
weeks ago
by
he
getting
should be ready to
production.
play? All of a
Coach
sudden,
Shuey
2
has
weeks
done,
later,
our
he
outside
hasn't even
linebacker coach
fucking
has done an
played.
amazing job of coaching these guys.
It's done.
And I just, again, I appreciate that about these
Media
coaches.
should be
And
fired.
then you got older guys, Khalil and Robert, that have played in this league for a while,
Don't
that have
get
a
it
lot of
twisted.
experience that can help out young guys like him. And
None of
so
the media
a guy like
fucking
Travis,
has
Hey, Tito,
when he
go check your
watches
DMs on
Khalil
Facebook,
and
bro.
Robert practice the way they practice, it's
Quit hiding.
contagious. And so what happens is now you get out here in this game and you put it all together, and then the game will slow. Like I always talk about with Justin, the game will slow down for them.
I'm
too.
counting
They'll
the
notice
weeks
the
that
chip
he may
block
be
coming from
coaching with the
running back or
Chiefs
tight end.
in the
They
playoffs.
see that stuff,
100%.
and then they get better from it. And
That's where he's
You're
going.
on that? You're on that?
All right.
I've been saying it for 3 weeks.
BetUS. Go to betus.com. I'm sure they got a prop bet for that. Will Matt Nagy be coaching with the Chiefs in 3 weeks?
Kafka is a free agent. They have not extended him. He's going to Kansas City.
Shane is calling
the
it right
Chiefs
now.
lost today in Cincinnati.
Oh, did they end up losing?
Yep.
Nice.
Do you want to hear from Travis a little bit?
Not
or no?
really. Not really.
Fuck that guy.
Travis, we'll hear from him next year with a new coach. Because Shane, you're right. I think I would bet that he'll be in some way affiliated with the Chiefs in the playoffs. And some Bears fans will switch a narrative for a moment.
Patrick Mahomes will throw a touchdown. See, Nagy wasn't the reason.
I try not to be a hateful person, but this team has made me wretchedly angry and disturbed.
Just
right?
think about, listen, when you're all eat too much cheese, maybe, and you're all backed up, and that plug gets fucking pulled. Just think about how much.
Call that
better
a
you're
jackal in
Yeah.
some parts.
Yes, they do. The jackal release. Think about how much better you're going to feel next week. Remember when I called you? You're actually in the courtroom, I believe. I'm like, dude, they just released Charles Leno. Phil's like, fuck you. And I'm like, no, bro, I'm dead serious. It's going to be the same thing next week. And it's going to happen, man. They're on the road. They're in Minnesota. The Bears, the way that they operate, it's a 1:00 game. News will probably break around 11:40 Eastern. And they get back. They get their shit settled. They're back in Hallis Hall. They're gonna have but that's the way that it goes. George, everybody's gonna be there.
Gentleman George.
It'll be when they get off the bus at Hallis Hall, and they're gonna relieve him of his duties. Adam Johns will break the story because he's the guy that has
Shane's got this all written down. Like,
dude, you know how I operate. That's the way this shit will happen. 50 cents.
50 cents, Shane. 50 cent. Hey, Bojack, it's your birthday.
Half off because he's half the player that he used to be.
It's not even half off. It's like 93% sale here. 50 cents if you want some Bojacks. Go grab some Bojacks. 50 cents. Thank you, John, for sending me the picture of Bojacks. 50 cents if you want to get some of that Bojacks here. I know Ryan Pace and his family eat that for breakfast every morning. Patron number 222 here at the TTNL network. Speaking of TTNL patronage, Shane,
roll it.
We got to roll this. If you aren't a patron, you are going to want to sign up because we are going to get you nonstop analysis and coverage. We are the ones that talked about Tevin Jenkins, Justin Fields going to the Bears. We talked about James Daniels becoming a Bear beforehand. We talked about Tunga and so many other analysis and breakdowns. We broke down Angelo Blackson and said, listen,
we broke down Angelo Marino too.
Angelo Marino. We also break down the Bears every Saturday, X's with the O's. This weekend we'll be doing it on next Saturday.
And when
we'll be
news
live.
breaks, we only go live for the patrons.
We only go live for the patrons when Matt Nagy's officially fired. Here is our promo for X's with the O's. This is one of our patron-only shows. Every Saturday, it's a coach's clinic.
X's with the O's. DDP, Coach O, Barrelissimo, and they actually figure out the whys.
Yeah, he gets to the races because Daniels actually does a great job.
But they did all that moving around, get the quarterback right into position again. For crying out loud. He's getting fancy. I haven't said it, but Phil said it 100 times. It's all trick plays. A trick with the wrong guy. He'd been better off pulling the ball and him going up the hole.
Never go backwards to get 1 yard. Look at that formation right there. They're consistently in this kind of shit. Where, say you push Allen Robinson way outside that number, put him way out there, and then put someone way down here. All of a sudden, the box gets a little less tight.
But you can tell that the accountability when it comes, no one's calling anybody out on that defense.
Those linebackers have to maintain gap responsibility, full speed.
You got to press that thing inside out. So when he oversets here and he gets outside, that step, that right foot step sets him too wide. And now you've turned that defensive end into a two-gap player who can tackle inside or outside your fuck.
Matt Nagy sold himself because he's a good talker. He is a good talker, but what you need as a head coach and a GM is someone who's going to pick the right people and put them in the right places and play to their strengths. And you've also got to be able to, and it's crucial as any leader, is to be able to accept when you make a mistake. Look, I gave him a chance, I gave him an opportunity, I put him here, I gave him this responsibility, I did the tools, I did that to help him to do it. It's clearly not working.
I've never heard someone say, I made a mistake in this hire. And I mean, regardless of if you're not a football person, you still hired someone.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Those coordinators and everybody that's coaching on its staff could be great. If you got a guy up there that's a schmuck, you're not going anywhere. And that's what's happening. And when you get a real leader, he'll hire the guys that are going to do the job.
Get a coach in here that puts a priority on accountability, game planning. I don't see any of this. If I was to assess any coach and they're in shotgun on 4th and 1, fire that coach. It's just so much that you could do from under center that you can't do in shotgun.
Plus, you're not 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. The
Yep.
Bears culture, for me, all the way back since I was a kid, was the toughest guys there were. These guys are pussies.
Breaking down the key plays, big moments, and take a deeply detailed look back at each week's big play performers.
Oh my God, Mickey Mouse!
Exclusively for TTNL patrons. X's with Yo's.
There we go. My dad calling him out.
Yeah, and we have
Great job by Ron G.
We got to get this one rolling, right? This is coming back.
Oh,
I'm
this
not
will be coming
Bellissimo.
back.
That's
This-
me there.
This is coming back.
Shit's getting real, Filbert.
This is where we're going to be, breaking down the drafts like nobody else. If you were a patron like Otis Nichols, he's patron number one.
Before we even went live, he was there waiting in line.
Signed up.
He was the
Look
guy at
the
Best Buy in
timing
the
of him.
tent before the new Xbox drops. Otis is in that tent like 3 days before they go on sale. He's like, I love Shane and Phil.
Draft Mob is going to be back. We're going to be breaking down the draft like nobody else. If you are a patron, you are going to know that shit.
We're going to break
Free
down
agency.
free agents, right? We're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
break down the
free
coaches.
agency.
Somebody asked for a
Coaches-
low light film of Matt Nagy. No, once that motherfucker's flushed, we're not even talking about him anymore.
There's no.
turn
We'll
the
try
page.
not to talk about him.
Yeah.
We'll
Remember, you know how
try.
we say that
It'll be
other
hard.
network? It's going to be the
That
last head
other
coach.
That other coach.
Yeah.
Right now, that other coach was Mark Tressman and John Fox. Oh my God. We have a holy grail. I think my father hit it out of the park. Like, we understand what it takes to win. It's unfortunate that if you hire frauds, they're going to find a way to fuck it up. Football is about physicality. We talked about this before. You got to have a couple badasses in there that can't be telling their fucking teammates that, hey, you don't have to tackle. Anybody could tackle. Anybody could tackle. That's not what we want. We want guys.
While veteran safety Eddie Jackson pushes them to mimic his ball hawking mentality.
What separates you? You gonna make a tackle or you gonna get the football? Come on, bro. Everybody can tackle. Dude, what's gonna separate you, bro? You still fight for a spot. 1 million people get tackled. Everybody can't get the ball.
1 million people except you could tackle.
You ain't
Eddie.
doing either. You ain't doing it either.
This
But he's
is
on
the
Twitter right now talking about how many of his touchdowns have been called back over the last 3 years.
Eddie. How about fucking taking your flakes and selling those on the street? Because that's all we're talking about here. That is where I, as a head coach, call that young man in my office and play that clip for him. And I said, if this is what you're selling to those young men out there, then you're the wrong guy to be in my locker room. Because if you're not understanding that football is about blocking and fucking tackling first and foremost. Because if nobody scores, nobody loses. That's the end all be all of football. Defensive pride, motherfucker. Do you have it? Do you have it? Because I know I do. I know people that I know how this fucking organization could be fixed. It ain't going to be fixed with a guy that's worried about his haircut. You look at John Madden, he didn't give a fuck if he had fucking mustard on his shirt or whatever. His hair floppy. Bill Belichick, do you think he's thinking about what he's wearing today to look sharp? You have to worry about one thing. One thing. Toughness. If you don't got it, you got shit. You got nothing. The pussification of the Bears starts with Millhouse. That's what it starts with. Because he's got George's ear. He's his consigliere. George was given this power by his fucking 95-year-old mom.
think she's like 98 now.
98-year-old mom. So I really can't wait to see Walter. This isn't what this organization needs to be about. Can't be about that shit. It's got to be about finding the right football guy to lead the charge. It ain't Ernie Accorsi or some outside firm that doesn't know anything about football, but has a bunch of fucking LinkedIn accounts and understands the business side. No, football is about a relationship and about a culture. Anybody can call plays. Anybody can call plays. Everybody thinks they're a fucking GM and a coach. Everybody says it after the fact. You can't be in this business that we're in, starting a network and be wrong all the time. I'll tell you that. People stealing our shit. Right, Bullets? Right, Tito? Stealing our shit and writing stories, never giving credit to this network. That's a travesty. That's a travesty. And every person that's a patron or a fan of this network knows that's the truth, including this guy.
Hey, boys, like my sweatshirt? The tape never lies.
That's right. The tape never lies,
It
Cap.
never does.
Cap knows we're in a business about finding the answers for the Chicago Bears and being the voice of the fan. We have a responsibility here on BHL. It's to break down the game and find out if
there's hope, guys. There's hope.
We hope that they get it right. We know, as Shane is saying, Matt Nagy's gone. We know it. Don't get the. Everybody in the NFL knows the Giants suck. They are maybe the Jags would beat the Giants 21-3. I guarantee it. Guarantee. Who do the Giants play next? Can we find out? Who do the Giants play next?
I think the Argonauts.
Oh, my God. I love Steve Lupino. I love Steve Lupino. Bullets! Get your ass in there, fullback. Block somebody. Football is so much fun when you're winning. It
The
really
Washington football
is.
team.
The Washington football team will beat the Giants 35-10. Bank that. Bet US. You bet, you win, you get paid. Go to betus.com. Put the promo code ShyCity125. You'll thank me later. You're going to get a bonus. A bonus. 125% bonus towards your bet. 30. They might not score, Mike. They might not score 10. I'm just giving Saquon Barkley a big play touchdown after Leno gives up a strip sack at the fucking 12. So I'm going to give that. So there you go.
Free agent offensive tackle available.
Who would that be? Charles Leno coming back?
It's PFF. Brad said.
PFF Brad. When is PFF Brad? Brad, I know you're watching, you and Eric Lambert. So, Brad, I'm formally inviting you to come on here and defend your numbers tape to tape.
Hey, and here's some advice.
Yes.
Phil and I will get on here and call out people.
Yes.
But we don't need the fans going out and saying, you're a stupid cocksucker, and then fucking tagging us in it. We get it. We'll handle that portion of it ourselves. We don't need people going out on Twitter and attacking other people because we say that. We say it to people's face. That's fine. But that's what people have been famous for. They're like, oh, Shane and Phil don't like these guys. I'm going to go call this dude a dirty cocksucker and tag him on Facebook.
Don't put us in your...
Nobody wins that way.
Yeah, I don't want to... I will say it to their
We'll say
face.
it. Yeah, we have no problem saying it. Believe me. I got banned from fucking Twitter. They took my account away. I had to start a new one. But I've been blocked by probably more people than anybody. But yeah.
Pure bliss.
You know what, guys? That's my phrase. Pure bliss.
Yeah.
Remember it came from Angelo?
Yeah.
And Joe Marino. Remember that, guys?
An old one. We found
I didn't even
it.
know we had that one.
I totally forgot about that one. But I can never forget about this one.
Ryan and Matt are men of character. They are both, like Ted, outstanding leaders. I've been most impressed with how well they collaborate.
Yes, the collaboration
have time
press
to.
conference, Shane. Are we going to be seeing that again? Or are we going to see the donkey
Phil's
kicked?
emptying the fucking coffers today.
I'm emptying the coffers. I got to shout out Ron G again. I thought that X's with the O's promo.
Yeah, it was dope.
Is
great job.
Dope. Great job.
Got to get him working on the draft mob one now.
The draft mob
gonna be
one.
here.
Didn't he top out X's with the O's one off with the my dad calling?
Ron G doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be singing live on air for the patrons. Guy's got the voice of an angel. I have no idea. I'm just putting him on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Ron
Ron
G
G
singing.
steps up to the pocket though.
Yeah.
Who else will step
Just don't
up?
piss him off. He'll fucking cut you.
He wants to cut Jack off, I'll tell you that. Jim Harbaugh. Supposedly the Raiders, I have it on good merit, going after Jim Harbaugh, offering him $12 million a year. Shane, are you in with me and the Jim Harbaugh sweepstakes to get him to Chicago?
Yeah, I would have zero problem with Jim here. I'm just surprised. The biggest thing that surprises me, and this is a college issue, I am shocked all the time that he's had in Michigan that he hasn't had a big time quarterback there. That's stunning to me. It really is. You know, when he went back to Michigan, I'm like, there you go. You're waking. I look at that, you know, they're one of these teams that we talk about, not to go off on a college tangent, but I considered them, you know, a sleeping giant like the University of Texas is. They got to get the shit right. When they brought Harbaugh in, I'm like, oh man, they're gonna get the ship, you know, pointed in the right direction. They're, you know, better this year, but you saw them. They got punched square in the fucking face by an SEC team. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
That talent that Georgia has is just a testament to Alabama and Georgia football.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets how great Georgia is. And then they're reminded after they rested.
Troll Ralph.
Oh my God, Ralph.
You're crazy. Thanks, Ralph.
Ralph, if you think Jim Harbaugh is not competent and
he'll address it in the comments at 3 a.m.
Oh my God. That is the most embarrassing football take I've ever seen written. And there's been a lot of them on this chat in my lifetime of doing these shows. Jim Harbaugh is solid. He would totally rearrange what the NFL. He's better suited for an NFL job than he is.
Thank you on Kirby Smart. No.
In college. I like Jim in the NFL dealing. He wanted more say in San Francisco and deserved it. What he did in San Francisco is a testament. They were a failing organization going down the tub, down the drain. Jim turned it around. One with Colin Kaepernick, who nobody wants. Can't win with that guy, you know. He did. Beat the Packers every time, brought him to the Super Bowl. How quickly we forget. Shane Marsaw also, first one that I've heard talk about it on this network, trading for Sean Payton, as we talked about on X's with the O's. What would you be willing to trade for Sean Payton?
Under that scenario, I think
yes,
that is if Ryan Pace is still in Chicago. I think that's the marriage if he stays. I think what Albert Breer was the one. It wasn't me coming up with it.
Well,
Albert
I'm just saying, you just
Albert Breer talked about it, and there's a relationship there that's been the selling point for Ryan Pace to ownership, is that I can get you Sean Payton as the head coach.
That's his parachute
to move forward. Yeah,
I agree. But what would you be willing to give up, like in draft capital?
Well, I think it's probably got to start at I think the all talks are going to start as a 1. Would I do it too? I probably would. I think the talks are going to start as a 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go back to John Gruden. I think, what did somebody say? Was it a 1 and a 3? But, and I understand, and I love the draft more than anybody. And then the Bears seem to be, you know, cycling through first round draft picks like crazy. But if you truly feel that Sean Payton is the guy to settle this position and to settle the quarterback position along with it for the next 10 to 12 years, that's a sound investment, as much as it hurts.
Coach is the most important
yeah.
position in all of football. I've said it. No doubt in my mind. We left the old network because the GM of the network didn't agree with me when I said the coach is more important than all of this, because the NFL is full of talented players. It's the coach that has the plan and the wherewithal to say performance is going to stake. We're going to have a quarterback competition between Foles, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton, and we're going to determine who's the best within the competition. That's football. That's a coach. Same thing, on and on and on. I can give you thousands of examples up until today's gimmick to end the fucking game. That's your last fucking play call at Soldier Field. It's designed terribly.
Right. Yeah. And I was wrong on that. I see somebody talked about it in the chat there.
What's that?
Give you credit. So the official trade in this, I would not be interested in. The Buccaneers traded 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and $8 million in cash to the Raiders in exchange for John Gruden. And then they signed him to a 5-year deal and $17.5 million up front. So that's a no-go for me. But
2 first, 2 seconds,
and $8 million in cash.
Yeah, I'm not signing up for that. And, oh, by the way, I want to address Aman Narang. If this is how you analyze coaching, then you really gotta stay. You better sign up to become a patron.
Yeah, we'll teach you. We're not making fun of you. It's just
this is just not how you do it. How many points did Sean Payton score last week with his Saints again? We're gonna judge Sean Payton, the coach, now. This is not how you judge. Did you see that he's the coach of the year?
Right.
That he took a 2-win team to 12 wins. I mean, this isn't how football's judged, and it's no disrespect to you. You just have to be smarter than Ralph Barf in this situation.
Well, and that's the thing. And we're not. Listen, sometimes
the whole Georgia defense
people
is
just
going to
look
the
at
NFL.
Things, people
Every one of them.
Exactly. People look at things at a surface level, and they, it's everybody is jumping on the Bears blog because he's putting out there that he's got inside sources and he's reporting on all this stuff.
He's a liar.
Also,
the Bears blog.
When Justin Fields was playing against Northwestern, he put out a tweet saying that Justin Fields is a trash quarterback. He's going to ruin
the
franchise. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we're going to teach you. This is one thing that, as a scout moving forward, that you're going to learn on this network. If you're a patron with X's with the O's and with Draft Mob, you can go back and people say, oh, all Ohio State quarterbacks are trash. You cannot scout the fucking helmet. It doesn't work that way.
They said I was crazy about Mac Jones, Shane.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Alabama quarterbacks
quarterbacks never fucking do it. What did they do?
You have to sit back, strip the helmet off of them, strip the jersey off of them, and you have to break down the school doesn't matter. If that was the case, you would have never drafted Brian Urlacher.
Exactly. There would be no Walter Payton. Exactly. Jackson State? Who the fuck's coming out of Jackson State? Oh, only Hall of Famers. Oh, okay. They got 2 Hall of Famers drafted out of Jackson State that same year. The tackle, Slater, Jackie Slater, and Walter Payton. Are we going to fucking go? Let's go. If that's your MO, that's your brain functioning. Like, it's not a disrespect. This is why I get so mad about the fucking blog boys.
Hey, Big Lou. Welcome to the show, bud.
Big Lou.
Yikes.
He's right, though. He did have one bad
Don't
season.
drive that car into a fucking volcano because you're not paying attention.
Did Jim Harbaugh embarrass Ryan Day? Did Jim Harbaugh embarrass? Ryan Day's not a good coach. Jim Harbaugh beat him. That's not how this shit works. It's just not how it works. I'm just dead serious. Just like if somebody asked me, would you ever hire Deion Sanders to be the head? No, I don't think Deion's a very good head coach. He might be a great recruiter and personality, but I don't think he's a good head coach. It takes a lot more. Maybe he'll season himself.
That's my fear with
Be a
this
head
team,
coach.
is the Bears are going to buy into the change, and then I fear that their move will be going out and bringing in like a recycled front office guy because he has experience.
Yeah.
So they're going to go out and bring in Jeff Ireland, and then Jeff Ireland is going to be like, oh, I'm going to bring in the experienced head coach. So now you have Jeff Ireland in the front office, and now you have Leslie Frazier as your head coach. That's not the fucking move that this franchise needs.
Oh.
Leslie Frazier is a fine person, a fine coach. That's not the move that this team needs. They need the ultimate fucking leader that's going to come in here. And that's what is attractive to me about a guy like Sean Payton or a guy like Harbaugh, is they've been through it, and the media bullshit, the fan bullshit, the bullshit from the owners, that's not going to deter them from doing what they feel is best. Because you need somebody that's going to be like, you fucking brought me in here to win. You don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what you brought me here for. And I'm going to reshape this entire fucking franchise in the way that I feel fit. That's the shit that you need. Not, I'm going to no, we're not going to do that. This is what you want. It can't be that way. Because if you have an office full of yes men, then you're going to get exactly what this Chicago Bears franchise has been. I'm 45 years old. My entire fucking life, there's been, one season up, one season down. You do have a great season in 85, and then you fucking should have won more Super Bowls, but you don't. Bears had their run when Lovie Smith was here, could never figure out the fucking offense each and every year. And stop with the Lovie Smith talk too. Lovie Smith was fine while he was here. He got fired in 2012 after 10-6. Guess what? He's won 27 football games as a head coach since 2013. 27. So stop with that nonsense. Put your fucking sights higher. It's the Chicago Bears. Don't go to the fucking CFL and unearth fucking Mark Trestman and try to catch lightning in a bottle. Go get your fucking guy. Go get your guy, and if it's money, then fucking go pay the money.
Your $1 billion franchise. There's no cap. The Bears blog and blog boys to coaching. They could pay. They're billion. I love when these writers, including like even the big boys, Adam Johns and company. Well, they're paying this, right? They're paying this coach and that coach this amount. Are they really going to pay? They're billionaires. They're billionaires. Yes, they're going to pay if that's the direction they will go if they want to win. It's that simple. You can't go out there and hire the fucking special teams coach of the Jaguars thinking, okay, let's just get him on the cheap, $3 million, and try to catch lightning in a bottle. That's not how. This is how they've run their organization. They went for Nick Saban with Jerry Angelo, right? And he turned them down because Jerry didn't want to give up GM. Nick wanted to pick out the groceries. That's true story. Nick Saban would have been our head coach if Jerry would have given over GM rights. They ended up signing Lovie Smith in the wee hours of that night.
And I'm not saying this as an Alabama fan. Nick Saban gets shit on as an NFL head coach when he went to Miami, he was fixated, had a deal done with Drew Brees, next quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins doctors talked to the owner, would not clear him.
Yep.
He went back to them and said, "This is my quarterback. This is who I want. You're going to regret not letting me go get this guy." And Drew Brees wanted to be a Dolphin. Wouldn't let him do it. They go after Dante Culpepper. The rest is history.
This is how it works. This is how it works. History can't rewrite itself. If you got to get you can't be worrying about offense or defense. You got to get the head coach.
But I understand. I do understand the thought process of, you bring in a defensive coach. I totally understand that. I do get the part of looking into, you bring in a defensive coach and then his offensive coordinator, and then you hit in year one. That fucking guy's gone. You have him for 16 games plus the playoffs, and then he's fucking gone. That's something that you have to look into. That plays a huge part of it, because that is the guy that's going to be developing your quarterback. And that's where I think the Bears are going big. I think the Bears are going to go after a guy that's got some pelts on the wall. When you're looking at a guy like Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton, just to go back to the compensation, just because the Bucs made that trade doesn't mean that that's going to be the ultimate compensation for Sean Payton, because the New Orleans Saints are $62 million over the cap for next year already. They have no quarterback, and they're gearing up for a massive rebuild. They know that. Sean Payton knows that. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But
I agree with my guy. I've totally had him, Ryan Fraley. And I don't know. I know he's putting Hogan John. I don't know that they said this. I'm not putting it up there for that. I'm just saying you have to invest big time into the right person. And what we've said forever, when I said you got to fire Nagy after year 2, I'm like, this guy is a shoe salesman. Everything he did was Vic Fangio.
In the 12-4 season, Phil was right there fucking saying it at the midway point. And if you really go back to about week 7 or week 8 of 2018, just study the offense and you see the issues every single week. You would see the defense would go out and make a big play. You saw it today when the Bears had a short field. They could make some fucking hay. When they were on the opposite fucking side, 1st and 19, 2nd and 14, off, false start, back them up, punt the football. Phil was on it early, 2018, and there was a lot of people. I was one of them. I wasn't ready to launch Nagy to the fucking sun. Then I'm like, you gotta let him. And then it was, Mitch isn't his guy. You find yourself making excuses because you want to believe that the Bears couldn't fuck this up again, but yet here we are.
Now,
and they fucked it up.
Let me take you, and I'm talking to you, the fan out there. And this is a testament to this network.
Number one, if Tomlin is fired, you fucking take
100%.
The Bears don't own their own jet. You take the fucking fun bus, you drive it right to fucking Pittsburgh, and you give him a blank fucking check. You say, "Come on, Mike, 100%." Yes.
I was getting in a zone.
He would be my number one, right?
My boy Matt. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Jim Harbaugh is my number one. Tomlin would be right 1B. Where's Cars?
Yeah, exactly.
1B.
He just ripped his TV off the wall, threw it into the pool.
Let me take you into this is where this network stands. I talk to this guy every day almost. So when I'm breaking down tape on my phone, at the doctor's office, waiting in line, or in the house while we're watching fucking Rugrats or whatever the fucking kids were doing, and I'm putting together the Tape Never Lies series that you all know and love, I'm saying to my partner, Shane, the same fucking things every week. Where? Did you watch the Madden documentary? It all starts up front, whether defensive line, offensive line. I can tell what a head coach is by the way those guys perform. Do they know their assignments? Everybody's going to get beat. Everyone's going to get out physical at some point, no doubt. But do they know their assignments? Do they fire out? Do they fucking have pride? You saw, all of you, Fetty do what he did to Jenkins, a rookie who showed his own upbringing, his own culture, his own manhood. You ain't going to fucking do that to my quarterback. Fuck you. No. Not in Matt Nagy's world.
Can't get a penalty.
Can't get a penalty.
Wins. Now we're not going to have 6.
The culture, the teaching, the accountability, the toughness, the experience of understanding. If you want to run, I'm breaking this down right now. If I had a telestrator like George, you want to run that wildcat pass, right? And have some fun. The tight end blocks and outside releases, so the chance of an interception or turnover is nil. That's the smart. You don't block, turn inside, where a defensive lineman, a linebacker, a safety falls back and in the way of a non-quarterback. It's just Nagy gonna Nagy. He's a shoe salesman. And I've said it. My boy Jim Larison, shout out to you, Jimmy, out in Arizona living his best life. You heard me say it when the fucking Bears put a ass whooping on Tampa, 38-6. I'm like, this fucking guy is a fraud. The defense is doing everything. He's just living off turnovers and forgetting Jordan Howard. He forgot David Montgomery. The run game, the offensive line, and then the quarterback will be the reason why the next head coach needs to be successful. And the Chicago Bears would do themselves a great service if they said, Phil and Shane, you guys, because I'm no disrespect to any writer or media type. I love a bunch of those people that are in the media. Some of them I think are terrible. I've said on the record before everybody, again, Olin Kreutz would be my guy because I know the organization doesn't like to hear the truth. They're afraid of the truth. Well, the truth hurts. Do you like going to the mechanic, Shane, and the guy says, you're going to need a new fucking transmission? That truth sucks. But he's not going to fucking, unless he's fucking screwing you over, which this isn't the case. Those are the things that this organization needs to hear. And with Ted Phillips, he doesn't want to hear it. He just wants to hear that money machine. That's all they care about. Now they got to care about football. And to my man's point, we said it all the time. You have to fucking invest in that head coach and you will get your return tenfold. Tenfold. Tenfold.
So back up a little bit before the Bears hired Matt Nagy when they moved on from Tressman. You saw the collaboration nation come together in the not postseason, not playoffs, but the post season for the Bears talk about how upset they were. And this is exactly what they said. So let's back up to 2017. And this is what we got.
She's been very supportive. She agrees with the decisions that we've made. She's pissed off. I can't think of a 91-year-old woman that description would apply to, but in this case, I can't think of a more accurate description. She's been on this earth for 8 of the Bears' 9 championships, and she wants more. She feels that it's been too long since the last one, and that dissatisfaction is shared by her children, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchildren. She's fed up with mediocrity. She feels that she and Bears fans everywhere deserve better.
So since that point, you guys have lived the Matt Nagy experience. When you see the fake concern, now just let me play this again real quick. When they start this,
look at Ted Phillips.
That's all you have to focus on. When you see George say she's pissed off, you see Ted Phillips in his bullshit. He's looking down like this, and then he says pissed off, and Ted goes, yeah, like I'm gonna fucking focus now because that's the point I'm trying to hammer home. This old bitch is pissed. Who cares? You guys don't fucking win. Watch Ted's face. And I'll stop it right after that. Focus on Ted Phillips and nobody else. And when you hear the words pissed off, watch his face.
This is part of the tape.
It's
fake. Tape never lies.
She's been very supportive. She agrees with the decisions that we've made. She's pissed off.
Fuck out of here, Ted. You know you do that when your wife is like, you do something dumb to piss your wife off, and you're like,
that side eye.
Fuck, I can't believe she fucking figured that out. And then she's like, and one more thing, and you're like, same fucking reaction. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, President and CEO of the Chicago Bears, one more time, Mr. Ted Phillips.
Yeah.
We're going to figure this out. No. Wow. Pulling that tape. Do we still have the collaboration countdown? And then you forward to that one and you're like, oh my God. What could they pull out of their ass to say this time? Yeah, you can.
Over? Yeah. I'll do it right here. Yeah.
Watch the collaboration.
Impressed with how well they collaborate.
They point to the ability to overcome adversity, the need to adapt to challenges, the need to have a collaborative working environment.
And you're going to hear this word a lot today because it's true, is collaboration. The collaboration that Matt and I have.
What we've done in the past couple of years together, there's conviction and there's collaboration to dig in and reflect and say why.
When you can collaborate.
I think it's the way they collaborate. We think that their collaboration will result in the right decisions. The leadership, the collaboration, the adaptability, again, the collaboration.
It's the collaborative relationship that Matt and I have.
So when you look at the whole product and the collaboration,
it's a collaborative effort.
Again, I've told you about the collaboration and nothing's changed there. So it's been a great collaboration.
I know we keep on using the word collaborative, but it's so real.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but you know.
It is, oh my God. Oh my God. To see that.
But they had to sit down at one point. They had to sit down at one point together and said, this goes back to the Harvard Business School, blurb that they put out there. And they had to sit down at one point and said, all right, we're not just going to focus on the whys. We're going to collaborate and we're going to figure them out. And we're going to hammer this home because the fans, the paying fans that are out there, they're all dumb. They're mouth breathing idiots, which unfortunately most of the Bears fans are, not the ones here. But they're going to hammer that over your head over and over and over again and feed you this line of bullshit that, oh yeah, we're collaborating together and we're going to figure this out. Well, the collaboration posse got together last offseason and they collaborated and now we have 6 wins. So great. Bravo, guys. Give it up. Give it up. 6 fucking wins. And you wasted a season with Justin Fields. Great job. Bravo. Bravo.
Exactly. It's truly sickening. It really is. And these are the type of people that, put politics over performance. That's the truth. This week on Keeping It 100, we'll unveil our performance over politics song, produced by my guy, Cool Kennedy. I'm literally putting the finishing touches on the music video. That'll be this Wednesday as we continue to break down on the best network covering the Chicago Bears, bar none. This is Bears Hour Live, the best post-game show, bar none. But we continue all through the offseason on the tapeneverlies.com. Sign up and become a patron like Matt Beyer. He'll tell you he's a patron. He knows. Gustavo, all the way in Brazil. He knows what it's like, what kind of stuff you're going to be getting. Draft breakdowns like nobody else. Actual college tape breakdowns of me, Barlissimo, Shane, guests, players are going to come on, draftable players. We got so much going on with the coaching stuff. We're going to have coaches talking about the possibility of who the coaches should be. We're going to have players coming on. We've had how many players on this show? My God. David Montgomery, Ryan Nall,
Hollywood Rye.
We had former Bears. So many of
We have draft eligible players too.
eligible players.
Right.
We've had
I'm just
everybody and their brother trying to
Sean
get on
Sierra,
this.
Lawrence Funk, Steve Edwards, Olin Cruz, Zach Miller, David Kaplan, Mike Tenorelli, Paige DeMacos, Chris Emma, Rashad Whitfield, the Footwork King, Mark Schofield, Dieter Iceland, Tyler Coyle, Dante Jones, Naquan Jones, Kenneth Davis, Rasheed Davis, Ryan Nall, David Montgomery, Matt Waldman, Tay Gowan, Philadelphia Eagles DB, Brock Wright, tight end from the Detroit Lions was on. Chris Zorich has been on with us. Emery Hunt, Coach Reinbold, Robert Mays, Jason McKee, Doug Plank, Zach Pearson, Shane Matthews, Eric Kramer, Deion Miller, and the list goes on and on. Doug Farrar. Right.
I got it right, Shane.
You did.
We are going to be continuing. Demo was on, my boy. Exactly. We're going to be continuing that trend. And we shout out all of our guys like Alex Acevedo, Barlissimo, Claudio, Cherie. All of these guys working their tails off to get great guests to come on here and talk about these Chicago Bears and football. That's what we're going to continue to do. I promise you that. And we're going to only get better.
So Allen Robinson's girlfriend just
posted.
Update.
Was that Greg Braggs trying to move in on
her? She took a selfie in the Soldier Field bathroom. And then
with Greg?
She posted this and it says, "These dirty ass mirrors. Good riddance."
Well,
yeah, no shit. Good riddance.
No shit.
Take your dirty ass route running and
dirty ass
fucking
blocking.
Yeah.
Have you
no
blocked?
effort? Fuck out of here. Go someplace else.
Yes, we are going to possibly take this show to Patreon next season.
Yep, BHL. Yeah, you want this show? You better go sign up.
There you go. That could be the next move for this network and everything we do here. Listen, there's a lot of hard work, and to have people steal it, take your analysis, your statements, your quotes, and never give you credit, well, it gets a little, I don't consider imitation flattery, because it's not imitation, it's stealing. And that's unfortunate. But I will continue to work my ass off. Got to smash that like button. Subscribe, like, make it the best mirror at Soldier Field that you could look in, because I know Allen Robinson will be going with Matt Nagy out of town. That's the one positive I know. Do I have faith in Ted and George? No, I don't. Do you, Shane?
No.
That's why Jim Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, somebody who has merit. They were afraid of Bruce Arians because Bruce Arians had merit. He had accountability. He had forthright. He understood that he was going to do what he did today. Take a chance on a guy for greatness. And when it's over the top of the team, you fucking cut it off. We have a head coach that allowed frosted fucking Jackson Flakes to go out there and miss and flake on tackles. never holding him accountable. Have Eddie fucking Goldman loafing, never hold him accountable. Have this clown, Allen Robinson, making $18 million and a fucking power play's coming to his side, and David's about to cut it outside, and he refuses to fucking block anybody. $18 million you're getting, and you don't fucking block on my team? Fuck out. Get to the fucking bench and get fucking the next guy in there that wants to block. That's what football is. If you allow politics into your program, you've lost. You've lost before you ever win. Football is about the common man, because nobody is just born to go to the NFL. Walter Payton, the greatest football player ever. What was he known for? His hard work in the offseason. That's what he was known for. At 5'10", 210 pounds, he played like 265 pounds. Running up the hills, doing the work when no one's watching. That's the reality. That's what we do here. That's why I stand by this network, and I pray that I get it wrong, that George and Ted shock the world and decide to do the right thing and put someone in place that's above them in the area of the groin region, that they have fucking balls of steel. A Bill Parcells type that says, I don't give a fucking rat's ass about how much fucking money you have. This is about football. This is about putting the best fucking guy in the position to help this team get tough. I go back to when Kyle Long was here, and we're worried about fucking Anthony Miller and Javon Wims. They couldn't even hold them accountable. Kyle Long's brother, Chris, said, you guys weren't going to the fucking Super Bowl. You're too fucking soft. This is the team that kept putting Charles Leno out there, talking about how good he is, and that fucking the best ability is availability. Yeah, that's what these guys will tell you. The best ability is availability. He's a really good fucking player for us at PFF. Put your thumbs up if you agree. Fuck out of here. Watch the fucking tape. Change the culture.
I saw somebody in the chat asking where Anthony Miller is now. He went from the Bears. They traded him to the Texans. The Texans released him. He went to Jacksonville. Jacksonville released him, and he's currently on the practice squad in Pittsburgh.
He's a great football. No, he doesn't have it here. Here or here or here. That's the truth. Are you related to John Matuzak? I wonder, Joe. Because Walter did block. I remember Walter Payton saying, you know what I love most, John Madden? I love blocking. That's the true story. That's the true story. George Holcraft from Cali. TTNL has fantastic offseason content. Definitely worth the membership all year. Thumbs up that ass. Do it. We don't have a work that ass for daddy drop on this show, but hopefully George and Ted are working their asses for Virginia. Are they going to pull that same speech? Is Virginia mad, Shane?
Do you want some Olin Kreutz on what he would do with the offensive line? I think you may be.
Yes.
I'm just going to play the audio from my phone.
President. My president.
I don't think you're going to want him. This is the fucking answer, but
oh no.
Let me play this. I'm just going to play it raw audio from my phone.
Raw audio.
I'm going to get the best left tackle I can find on the market.
Mm-hmm. And you play him there, and then where do you play Tevin Jenkins?
At right tackle.
And what do you do with Larry Bourne? Move him inside?
Move him to right guard. And just figure it out from there. Maybe I resign James Daniels. If he doesn't come back, I leave Mustafa there with Cody Whitehair, and that's who I go with. Mm-hmm. But I got to get my left tackle spot fixed for my franchise quarterback. I have to fix my offensive line for my franchise quarterback.
And we talked about those defensive players right there. You know, we have to find out who our core is in that defensive line and that front seven and the back seven. Once we find out who our core is, we need to free up some money with the players that are not going to be part of that core. We need to get some more money, and so we can pay for that left tackle.
Do you believe Tevin Jenkins can't play left tackle?
No, I don't. I need someone who I know can play left tackle. I'm tired of guessing at offensive line already. Ooh. I need someone who I know can solidify my left tackle spot. I know Tevin Jenkins from always filming college. I know he can play right tackle. For what I see from Borum this year, I just got a lot bigger, moving him in the right guard. The money I use to sign a left tackle, if I can't get James Daniels back as a free agent, I got a pretty damn good young center there in Sam Mustipher. Now my line just got a lot bigger. And I got a guy who I know can play left tackle.
All right. Me and Olin will have round 2 on that discussion because it's about figuring it out. I think the fucking Chicago Bears dropped the ball today, if you're just tuning in, and they didn't put Tevin Jenkins out there to get the valuable reps. I think Tevin is a left tackle. And it's unfortunate that he had the back surgery. But I understand what Olin's saying, Shane, that he wants a proven commodity out there at left tackle, and he doesn't know. But I
would ask Olin this, and I love Olin.
Yeah.
Give me some fucking names, Olin. You played that game here. Give me some. It's fucking easy to say. Give me some fucking names, right? I break down. Give me some fucking names. It's easy. It's easy to say you need it. I need some fucking, and I'm not fucking around. I don't like this shit. You're going to give this kid 2 fucking games? Give me some fucking names. You want to play it? That shit goes both fucking ways. Give me some fucking names.
I don't agree with Mustipher at all. Neither does my father. And Tevin Jenkins looked phenomenal against the Minnesota Vikings, who led the NFL in sacks. So to get injured on the first play against Seattle, right? He hurt his shoulder on the first play, and then that's it. So I get what he's saying. I just don't get it. I don't believe, and Barlissimo agrees with me too. He doesn't believe in Sam Mustipher at center. I
just don't know how you look at what has been put on tape this quickly and you're fucking casting it aside. Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Here's some breaking news for you. There's no proven fucking commodity that's going to lock down left tackle for you in free agency. Armstead is out there. Okay, great. Bring him in. The Bears have been down that fucking road before. You remember Jamon Bushrod? He can give you some stability. Doesn't mean he's locking it down. Is he going to be better than what Tevin Jenkins would be with a full offseason in year 2? Nobody can sit here and say that for sure. Just because you pay somebody doesn't mean they're going to lock it down. I just get so fucking pissed with this shit because only in Chicago do we draft a fucking kid in the first round that's got all the talent in the world and Kyle Long. We're going to push him inside. Now we're going to move up for fucking Tevin Jenkins. We're going to push him on the fucking other side because, well, he's had 2 games to prove it. Fuck it. You can't do it. Borum, guess what? You've been up and down. I fucking get it. But so has everybody else on this offensive line. So let's just put everybody into a fucking island and nuke that fucking shit.
2 weeks in a row.
Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. None.
Jenkins is my left tackle, no doubt. I've seen the tape tells me
nobody
he's a
on
dancing
this.
bear.
This is where I'll defend Olin. Nobody along this offensive line would prevent me from making a fucking move in the fucking NFL draft. If there was an offensive tackle that fucking dropped that shouldn't, I'm not going to say, oh, fuck, I got Larry Borum. I got Tevin Jenkins. I'm not taking this
Totally
guy.
Agree with you.
Nobody along
Totally
the offensive
agree.
line. Am I going out of my fucking way to make Tevin Jenkins a right tackle and Larry Borum an offensive guard? No, prove to me that you can't fucking play there because guess what? You may prove to me that you can't handle the fucking move inside the offensive guard. Tevin Jenkins, maybe whatever. Can he play right tackle? Of course he can. You believed in the fucking kid at left tackle and you're going to give him 2 fucking games. Stop. It's over fucking reaction. And you're not going to be a fucking president on my team or a GM if you're fucking overreacting after 2 fucking games. No way. No way.
Larry Borum is not a left tackle in my book. I'll give him an offseason as well. He looks like he put on weight again.
And I disagree
and
with
he
Ralph
plays
here.
right. I think he plays right tackle, and you leave him there.
I don't think it's the easiest position to evaluate.
Oh,
I
my
don't.
God.
I struggle with it myself. I've been very
Ralph.
open with that, but I don't think it's easy.
Listen, James Daniels to me is a must resign. If I was the head coach, Kyle Long would have been my left tackle from jump. I would have had this right. If I was the head coach, James Daniels is my center. Or Cody Whitehair would have been staying at center. And we would have kept continuity there. But you put in Mustafa, I don't like it. Mustafa, to me, I totally disagree with Olin. I don't think Mustafa's the answer. You got to improve that position. My boy from Iowa does that immediately. It's like fucking the Empire State Building versus the Leaning Tower of Pisa in regards to comparing the two. And that being said, Borum to me is a right tackle. He's not a guard. He can play left tackle. I prefer him at right. Jenkins, I'm telling you, I'm not wrong. Jenkins is going to be the left tackle. And it's an unfortunate thing that this coaching staff is still here, because Jenkins today would have been the perfect day in a right.
Like literally fucking go off.
Oh my God, Danny. Pay attention. Shane got second week in a row. He got fired up. But again, that's what the offseason and the training. James Daniels, remember? He went in the offseason, rebuilt his body. Larry Borum could do that. Dieter Eiselen, who we love, could do that, who also was on the show. Tevin Jenkins could do that.
Absolutely.
Think about this coaching staff. Tevin Jenkins injures his back. They try to take this journey with him to see if they can go without doing surgery. They end up doing surgery. He's out for weeks. 11 weeks he's out. Then Jason Peters gets hurt on the second play of the fucking pack, or second quarter, end of the first quarter, and Jenkins is thrown out there in his first game against Green Bay, against the hottest team and the hottest defense and people are selling him out, right? Then he comes back against the Vikings in his second week and plays like we haven't seen a left tackle play. Then he gets injured against the Seahawks, and now he's better at right tackle. He's a guard. No, that's not how this works. Shane, I agree with you here. I really do. And I love Olin. I told him, he gets the president job, he's got to hire me, because then I'm going to be fighting him back and forth on making some of these moves. Because to me, James Daniels is your center. I want to see.
I better be the owner, and then I'm fucking firing everybody's ass. I'm kidding.
We love you, Olin. We just don't agree with you here.
I
know Olin doesn't agree. Yeah, maybe he's just reacting. But I know Olin doesn't agree with not playing Jenkins today. That should have happened today. That's the PFF decision by the coach.
James Daniels was better earlier, and James Daniels has had some warts as we've went along here. But
yeah,
part of that is from the constant fucking upheaval around him and the way that Mustafa has played beside him. If you give him competency beside him and some legitimate fucking play, I think James Daniels, that is going to show. Has he been perfect? No, but you're going to let a 23-year-old versatile offensive lineman fucking walk and then go out and pay Teron Armstead, who is, you look up his age real quick at this point.
Yeah. Is he 29? I remember when he was coming out, how much I loved him.
Yeah, he's 30.
So he's 30
years old, and he'll be 31 the start of next season. But that's the Bushrod play. That's what Ryan Pace did when he came here. Signed Jamon Bushrod. Maybe that's the move. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm smarter than Olin Kreutz, because I'm not, and I'm not going to put my football acumen, especially along the offensive line, up against Olin Kreutz. But to me, It's a classic overreaction to dismiss Tevin Jenkins after a couple of games at fucking left tackle. Because if you go out and sign Teron Armstead, Phil, there's no fucking competition here. I'm talking about even with a new coach. He's your left tackle. That's the way that this fucking NFL works. If you're going to sink the money into that position, he's your left tackle. Done deal.
I totally agree. And that's what you got to stay away from, in my opinion. I think you should be excited that a real head coach, hopefully, comes in here and they have Jenkins at left and Borum at right. You've got your tackles. Jason Peters is an option, but that's it. To Shane's point, you might want that veteran in there, but he's not your starter. What they did today was a travesty, a sabotage, if you will, to an organization that needs to move forward. You can't move forward by going in reverse and playing a 40-year-old when you got Tevin healthy. That's why I wanted fucking Mark Grody, Johns, Hogue, whoever the fuck, to say, was Tevin healthy? Well, he certainly was healthy enough to go on special teams and block, as Shane points out. So why the fuck are you as an organization
healthy enough to come in and play?
Imagine Jenkins out there dominating today, right? You think anybody's saying this bullshit? That's what is unfair. Go watch the fucking Oklahoma State tape. Go back, become a patron. It's like a homemade DVR for you. Rewind back to me breaking down Tevin Jenkins with real film. You want to see a fucking left tackle destroying people? You want to see a tackle that knows technique, anger? Oh, it's college. Then go pop in. Go watch my breakdown of Minnesota. Watch Tevin destroying their fucking pass rush. Destroying people in college. Takes Anthony Barr, fucking drives him to the sideline, then throws him down for good merit. But no, Nagy don't want none of that. The Fetty don't want none of that. Then let's watch our Larry Borum breakdown. And watch his ass drive and take Ohio State's, Mr. Everything now with the Washington football team and destroy him when he's at Missouri. And you could see my father getting so excited. Like, this is the best tackle. And this is what we did. No joke. Tape never lies. Sign up to tapeneverlies.com. You love the draft, free agency. You love me and Olin debating. We're going to be round. We've had Olin on, I believe, 4 times or 3 times. One of those, 3 or 4 times. Whatever the next time is going to be more epic than ever. I guarantee, because we're going to be debating. But I just am disappointed in this organization and Ryan Pace for not going over there and saying, Tevin's starting today. We need those reps. We want our new head coach to see this and be excited as me. That's it. I think you fucked up. And to Berlissimo's point, and listen, Shane, no shot at Olin either. Olin was on this network. James Daniels will be the best center in football. What happened there?
Yeah, he wasn't talking about Pro Bowls. He was talking about all pros.
All pros.
Because
what
of
happened
the constant upheaval. You're the center. You're the left guard. You're the right guard. That's been the Chicago Bear. That's been the Chicago Bear way, Phil. They've done it with Cody Whitehair. They've done it with James Daniels. They've done it with Kyle Long. Now you want to fucking move Tevin Jenkins. Now you want to move Larry Borum. And like I said, if there's a fucking guy staring you in the face, if Teron Armstead wants to fucking come here and not break the fucking bank and wants to believes in if Sean Payton comes here, that very well could be, hey, I want a more proven commodity at left tackle. I want the veteran influence. Then Olin's a fucking genius. Maybe he knows something that I don't. I'm just saying to write him off and just to say I can't see him doing that. No. can't. If you give me names. Give me names. It's got better be more than Teron Armstead.
Juan Castillo said Effetti was going to be a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, well,
no,
great.
Juan Castillo said that.
Yeah, I also
Juan
had somebody
Castillo.
tell me I was 7% of the fucking success of a network, and I didn't believe that either. But
Blog Boys also said Sam Mustipher was in the best shape of his life. Then Greg Bragg said to us, Phil,
look at this
I'm there
picture.
at camp. Here's a picture. He looks like he's had 17 fucking Aunt Carrie's fucking lasagnas. And he was just a blubber hanging over. The tape doesn't lie to me. Give me names will be a drop. You gotta make sure that give me names of those offensive tackles.
But if you're going to play that game, you got to be able to take that game, right? Only came on here and wanted to put you on the spot and say, give me names.
Yes,
Well,
Jimmy Jam's got it.
Give me some.
Give me names of those tackles.
Maybe I'll get a fucking T-shirt made in the fucking swag shop.
Give
me names.
Shane's first tee. Give me names, Acevedo. Where is Acevedo, for God's sake? Listen, the swag shop's open. You don't want to fucking support the Bears until they get it right. Go out there, take your time, buy some swag like my guy. Go out there, get some swag. If you're just tuning in, tnlswag.com. Put in the promo code BHL20. You get 20% off or free shipping. You get to choose. You can buy some TTNL swag and support us like that too. How about this? The sack leader. Single season sack leader and a record. Robert Quinn. The Blog Boys had their story last year. There they are. Robert sucks. Robert says. Survey says.
You're an idiot.
Robert Quinn, Shane. And then we'll wrap up this show. Obviously, not much to play for today. Bears.
Some new swag. Look at stats are for losers.
Stats are for losers swag. And she's
Thunder
got
Girl.
her new house, right? Thunder Girl.
Yeah, she forgot to take the trash out, though. I see that Cubs pennant back there, but we'll let it slide.
Don't be surprised, guys. I've got something special for you in my sack.
That's BHL 20.
Jesus, don't let that go, George. You might want to get that checked out. Sounds painful.
Did you watch the Madden documentary with Uncle Rufus? They're talking.
I have not watched it.
Oh,
yet,
you
no.
gotta. Then next week, Uncle Rufus. Anyway, ending up this show. Listen, it's fun to win, but winning in a season that's lost is not really winning, in my opinion. And for the blog boy or the guy that's just a common fan, that's fine. For us, I don't give shout outs to losers. Don't put me in with other people I don't like and shout me out. Don't do that. I don't like, that's not a shout out to me. That's a shout out to being a loser. Right now, the Bears have 5 wins. They just added another for 6. They can get to 7 wins and they'll still be losers. There's no recency bias. There's no manipulation of truth. There's no manipulation of stats. There's no manipulation of any kind on this show, this network. The game was that fun for you, Shane, to watch?
I found myself focused on Robert Quinn every fucking snap. I was getting pissed because I'm like, these motherfuckers are just going to run the ball every fucking time.
I said the same thing.
I was sitting here with my son, and then we thought he had it, and Riley almost threw his chicken nuggets across the fucking room because he's so excited. And then I'm like, oh shit, wait, he dumped that off.
Oh, I was like, how the fuck of all people did Mike Glennon get that out? I thought he had it too.
One thing though, real quick, I do see comments on the club dub. I have not seen one video of a Bears player, and I'm sure knowing the Bears, they said, hey, we're honoring John Madden and Jeff Dickerson today, so we don't think that this scene is fit for, partying and stuff like that. I'm sure that was the thing, rather than, oh, you guys have 6 wins, so it's fucking embarrassing to be dancing around like assholes in the locker room. But I have not seen one video, so to me that says that was probably an ultimatum brought down from up above.
Well,
to
maybe they're starting to turn the corner. We can pray, because the club dub thing has become a travesty, an embarrassment to all real. I'm going to say that real Bear fans don't appreciate it. I'm serious. It's hard to win in the NFL. You're going to celebrate. Do it in a classy manner, but also keep in perspective. You're a 5-6 win team now, and you're not going to the playoffs. In fact, you only got to the playoffs, and this is a narrative. One last point here. This is a narrative that these broadcasters create. Now, he's been to the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years. Well, they opened and expanded the playoffs last year. They won 8-8 and backed in. They lost to Green Bay. They could have won and went in, and we would have been crediting them. They lose to Green Bay. Then it takes a miraculous loss from Arizona, loss from this team, loss from that team to get you into the playoffs. You backed in and you sucked in the playoffs. That's not football. That's a narrative. That's a stat. Stats are for losers, as Coach Belichick would say. Shane, final thought here.
Found them. Right there they are. Compliments of Bullets.
Bullets graphic returns. Club Pud. Shane's final thought. Give me names.
Yeah, give me names. Nah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do this. I think, knowing the Bears, Justin Fields will be miraculously ready to go in Minnesota. But again, Tevin Jenkins played today at left tackle. No fucking reason he's not playing in Minnesota next week. Controlled environment. And this is probably the Bears thinking. We're not going to put him out there on a snowy field. You can slip, wrench your back. Same thing with Justin Fields. It's going to be a controlled environment. My prediction, if this was keeping it 100, would be that your starting quarterback is Justin Fields. Your starting left tackle next week is Tevin Jenkins, Larry Borum at right. And then around 11:40 p.m. East, Adam Johns with the breaking news. It'll probably be somebody bigger. He usually breaks the news on an incoming coach. So I'll say Ian Rappaport around 11:40 p.m. East. Next Sunday breaks the news that the Bears landed at Hallis Hall and have informed Matt Nagy that he has been relieved of his duties, and the Chicago Bears are going to have massive changes coming to Hallis Hall. 1 more week to go.
1 more week to go. Listen, on a day of broken records and, a world full of losses and COVID and everything of negativity, the Chicago Bears are an outlet for all of us. We schedule our falls and winters and family functions around this football team. That's what this network is for you, the fan that does that, the fanatic that lives and breathes this game. No matter what, you don't miss a play. You hold your piss until the commercial. That's my guy. That's who you are. That's who I am. No matter what's going on, I don't miss a play in preseason or the regular season. This season has been a tough one, almost as tough as the year 2021. Tough. It's hard to watch your favorite football team not only lose and do it in mediocrity and stupidity, but also to continue this pussification of the Chicago Bears. It needs to end. And hopefully Shane, I know, is going to be right next week, and hopefully they do these things.
Right. Yeah. And Rock, yes, I understand the head coach is in charge of personnel, but hey, you know that the head coach is being ushered out the fucking door, right? Yeah. He is. So
hopefully they step down and say,
Right.
no, this ain't happening next week. Justin, Tevin, Larry.
you saw him throw the Hall of Fame bouquet to Jason Peters today. So to me, that was your swan song, pat on the back. Thanks. We're moving in a different direction next week.
Hopefully we see that. Hopefully we see a bunch of change that's coming. We'll be here live next week, breaking it all down on the best post-game show covering the Bears, bar none. It's Bears Hour Live here on TTNL. Tomorrow, I'll be live with our guy, former Chicago Bear, 3-time All-American from Notre Dame. Did Notre Dame win their bowl game, Shane?
No, just like every other bowl game since 1994, major bowl game, they are now 0-10.
Oh, I'm sure Chris Zorich,
but all
and
the
myself.
but all the meathead Notre Dame fans. But we got our recruiting figured out. They've been saying that for 25. Yeah, we're getting better at the recruiting. No, sorry.
Shane's gonna get people.
I have no
fired up.
problem. I'm just a fucking realist. Don't sit
Yeah.
here and tell me that you're getting better at recruiting when you're not. You're not.
Well, maybe.
Oh, it's going to change under Marcus Freeman. Okay,
Marcus
cool.
is going to get a change. Maybe.
Obviously. Well, better get your defense fucking figured out, bro. They got fucking rung up on right in the second half. Add those fucking points up.
Well, we will be breaking down all the bowls, getting you ready for the national championship game. Alabama versus Georgia, which is sure to be the rematch. It's going to be electric. We'll be breaking that down as well after and before the game. But tomorrow night, we'll be breaking down all the bowl games, talking about all this stuff on our show here with Chris Zorich, the Super 16 Bowl Show. Super 16 Bowl Show tomorrow at 8 East. Join us there. Jump in the chat. Talk with Chris and myself. Wednesday, we'll be revealing our POP, Performance Over Politics song. Breaking down these Bears. Maybe this guy will jump on the show Wednesday night to talk about the Chicago Bears. For Shane Marsaw, I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. Subscribe, smash the like button, become a patron. I'm guarantee you're going to love, if you love this game and you love change and the analysis of free agents, signings, possibilities, mock drafts, games, surprises, and prizes, all of that stuff. TTNL. Do it now. TheTapeNeverLies.com. We'll see you next week. Bye. Bye, Bears. Give me names, Shane.
Yes.
Let's go, Jenkins.
That's confirmed from Adam Schefter also.
Give me a tackle or give me death.
Yes. Tackle.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.